Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're back in Zumkit with Judge Middleton and Samuel Perdue, also known as Samia Siraj Maro Bey. If you remember from the last hearing, he was offered a very generous plea deal by prosecutor Deborah Davis. He was given 2 weeks to respond, or the case would proceed to trial, which was scheduled for March 2020. Well, those 2 weeks are up, and he's back in court, which can only mean one thing. He's decided to respond to the deal. Let's get into the full video.
All right, I've got everything turned on. We're going to have a civil case, but we're going to start with this one. We've scheduled it on short notice for today. These are 3 matters in the matter of Siraj Maro Bey, also known as Samuel R. Perdue. There's file number 202073, which alleges driving suspended second offense on September 17th of 20, and no proof of insurance. I think that's going to be dismissed. Driving suspended second offense in file 202653, alleged to have occurred on November 25th of 2020. And there's also a speeding ticket in that case. In file 21213ST, January 31st, 2021, driving suspended first offense. Mr. Maro Bey is here on his own behalf, as he has been every time. Deborah Davis is here on behalf of the plaintiff, prosecution. And we'd had several discussions in this case. Ms. Davis made a plea offer, which was all-encompassing for all files. As I understand it, Ms. Davis, you've made a plea offer of allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code for all driving suspended charges in each 3 cases: 202073, 202653, and 21213ST. You dismissed the no proof of insurance. Defendant would plead to speeding or admit to speeding. You don't plead 73 and a 55 on the 917 case, and 73 and a 55 on the 1125 case. Those are civil infractions. It's my understanding the defendant would be pleading by no contest to all of these charges, and the court would proceed right to...
I think we can all agree this was an extremely generous plea deal. Turning it down and moving forward to trial would have been a very dumb move.
So let's break that down, Mr. Maro Bey. The 2 charges of driving suspended second offense are misdemeanors. They're punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. They carry 2 points and require that your license be suspended. The other driving suspended would be a first offense. No, they're all second offense. She's also going to dismiss the false license charge. The charge that's left on each of those is called allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. It's found under Michigan compiled laws 257.326. It is a misdemeanor, but it carries no points, and it doesn't get abstracted to your driver's license. Won't affect your ability to keep or maintain your driving privileges. The 2 speeding charges are not criminal offenses, they're civil infractions. You don't plead guilty to a civil infraction, you simply admit. Now, it's my understanding in your discussions with Ms. Davis that you've agreed to plead no contest to these charges. You and I discussed that briefly at the last pretrial. By pleading no contest, you don't admit the charge, but you also don't deny it, and you allow or accept that a conviction would enter. And I would take the factual basis off the face of the ticket. The punishment for allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code, it carries a fine of up to $100 plus costs, and it carries no points, and it doesn't go on your driving record. This would resolve all the pending charges you have in St. Joseph County, and we would not be having a jury trial in March of 2022. Do you understand?
Oh yes, sovereign citizens don't understand anything. They think the word understand means to stand under authority. So let's see what creative word replacement he comes up with this time.
I definitely, I comprehend.
All right, and you're appearing, I'm not sure how you wish to characterize it, under protest, but you are here and you've mostly appeared undirected. Are you going to enter no contest pleas to those 3 charges?
Yeah, me and Deborah definitely talked Friday, and I decided that as much as I don't want to, but I feel like in lieu of a fair trial, this is probably my best bet. So in lieu of a fair
You seem
trial,
like an intelligent man. You and I have had a number of conversations, and you're a man that knows his own mind. Let me ask you this: did anybody threaten you to try to get you to plead to these charges?
I mean, of course, I have no choice but to be here. I mean, no one's forcing me to accept the plea. Well, I'll say
other than the plea agreement, did anyone promise you anything other than Miss Davis's promise that she will dismiss all these other charges?
He was promised by the people who fed him this Kool-Aid that if he just used the right magic words, filed the right affidavits, waved around the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, then everything would magically go away. Of course, when it doesn't work, he won't blame them. He'll blame the system, just like they always do.
I mean, no one promised me anything, but I mean, obviously, if I don't show up for court, if I'm not here, obviously a warrant is sent out for my arrest, and
Yes.
And then I'll be locked up. So I'm definitely here under threat, duress, or coercion. But I decided to accept the plea deal,
right.
and do a fair trial. I'm not going to get a fair trial.
In other words, he wants a fair and balanced trial, which I would honestly love to see, especially since he's representing himself.
I would like to think you could get a fair trial, but we haven't gotten to that point. There won't be a trial if you enter these pleas. Do you understand that?
Oh yes, definitely.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. You'd hire one, or I would appoint one. You would also have the right to represent yourself, and you've expressed that desire every time. If you had a trial, you'd have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify, and if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. You would also have the right to have any of the witnesses against you or for you called to testify, if I didn't already say that. And you'd have the right to be presumed innocent till the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, if they could.
I get it. You enjoy feeling persecuted. That's kind of been your thing throughout these hearings. But just because you say you're under threat, duress, and coercion, yes, coercion, not cohesion, doesn't make it true. You are completely free to take this to trial. Nobody has your arm twisted. That's exactly why Judge Middleton has repeatedly asked whether anyone is forcing you into these decisions. 7.
All right, well, let's talk about these one by one. The first incident occurred in September of 2020. Do you plead no contest to allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code in that case?
Are you asking me?
Yes, are you pleading no contest to that charge?
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I guess I didn't realize I had to actually answer that. Under TDC, yes.
All right. So, and the ticket indicates, well, I'll go to the ticket here in a minute. Also, that you were speeding at least 73 miles an hour. I think it was like 84. And do you admit, or at least no contest for the speeding charge?
Under threat, I do.
All right. And the next case, which was November 25th of 2020, had a driving suspended and false or forged license. They're going to dismiss that charge. and you're going to plead to allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code also by no contest. You can plead no contest in that case as well, under the same terms and conditions. Is that correct?
Oh yes, under threat. Yes.
All right. And the speeding charge as well, same thing, you acknowledge 73 and a 55. Is that correct?
Only under threat, duress, or coercion. Yes.
If you comprehend what the judge is saying, then you understand it. Your word games don't mean a thing.
Then the last one is the January 31st of 21. Prosecutor is going to dismiss false or forged ops. And they're going to dismiss driving suspended first offense, and you'll plead no contest to allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. Once again, under the same terms and conditions as the other two cases.
Oh yes.
All right. All right, well, the good news is, other than the speeding tickets, none of these are going to show up as a driving suspended on your record. The bad news is there's separate incidents and each one will carry a fine. So let's do the first one first, September 17th. I'm going to do the normal fine and cost. You did spend 1 day in jail for failing to appear. I'm going to give you 1 day in jail credit, 1 day. I'm not ordering any additional jail time. You understand?
I definitely comprehend.
Breaking the law can be expensive, yes, but you chose to believe all that right to travel without a license nonsense. Honestly, you're lucky you ended up with a reasonable judge and prosecutor, because I've seen much worse over the years.
I'm going to do a $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. That's the normal fine for this, $200. The speeding charge, it's the same charge. One is $140 and the other is $205. I'm going to make them both $140. The speeding ticket by operation of our policy is due within 30 days. That will be due by January 31st. All right. The file 202653, the November 25th case. I'm going to do the same thing. 1 day jail credit, 1 day, $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. $200, that's our normal fine. We're going to determine when those are due. We haven't done that yet. And you acknowledged that you were going 73 and a 55. That is 140. And that is due by January 31st, 2022. All right, and then the last one is the January 31st. Deborah, there's a speeding in that one also. Was that part of the deal, or was that?
I believe that we agreed to have just 2 of the speeding tickets.
Right. That one's going to be dismissed. And the no proof of insurance was also going to be dismissed. Same fine and cost, 21213 ST. No contest. 1 day jail credit, 1 day. $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee. $200. Mr. Morrow Bay, you owe 2 fines of $140 by January 31st. We've got to set up due dates for these 3 no contest misdemeanor pleas. I set these as a normal sentence. I didn't gouge you or add anything to it. I reduced the fine in one of the speeding tickets by about $65. And I am dismissing on prosecutor's consent the no proof of insurance, which is going to save you $215. Which leaves 3 no contest pleas to allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code. It won't go on your driving record. There's 3 fines of $200. There are 2 speeding tickets of $73 and a $45, which will go on your driving record. The total you owe is, I think, $880. 2 140s.
Oh, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it'd be even worse in Kalamazoo County. It's way cheaper than it would have been on the other.
Oh my God, I've been waiting years for a judge to tell a sovereign citizen, go ahead and pay in gold or silver if you want. There is absolutely no comeback to that. Thank you, Judge. You just made my day. And no, that is not what he wanted to hear.
Now, we have your
Right,
address.
but,
I think it's still the Southwestnage address. Is that correct?
yeah, that you can use that as a address.
All right. Now, this resolves all 3 of your cases. You and I have a fundamental disagreement on what the law is. You have a vision of what you think it should be, and I have another one. This is a way to resolve this matter without having to have 3 separate jury trials, which you would have been entitled to have. I'm going to make these $200 ones due by March 15th.
Your Honor, just for the record, if anybody were to hold this in the future, I just wanted to make note that, number one, we spoke on Thursday. The defendant had called me to make sure that he met the deadline that I had set. So I do appreciate his diligence with that. And we did have 2 fairly long conversations over the past couple of weeks discussing the options in the plea agreement. And he was very respectful, even though we definitely had disagreements about our interpretations of the law and constitutions. But I do appreciate that he was respectful when he was discussing these items with me. I would encourage him, though, to discontinue driving, especially in our jurisdiction, unless he is fully licensed to do so. Review of the police videos, there was not the level of respect for the officers that he gave me, and I would encourage him to, in the event he is pulled over again, keeping in mind that these officers are just doing their job just like we are doing our jobs. And I would, it was bordering on the line of resisting and obstructing, and the officers did their best to calm the situation down, even though these officers standing in the rain knocking on the windows. So I just encourage the defendant to consider the other people involved when he's having these issues with the police. So with that, I am pleased that this is resolved and that we can all go on our ways. Thank you.
Well said, Deborah. Well said. I also hope he learns from this, but based on experience, I doubt it. If anything, this lenient plea deal will only strengthen his resolve, and he'll somehow spin it as a win that I mean. He already has that fake Moorish driver's license, even though it serves absolutely no purpose.
He's been very respectful to me of our last couple hearings as well. We've managed to get along. I try to treat him with respect. He's been respectful to me. He is a thoughtful man. He had some thoughtful discussions with you, and he said it was in his best interest, although he didn't like it, to resolve these matters in this manner. And I've accepted his no contest pleas, and I've assessed fines. So 280 is due by January 31st. The others are due by March 15th. If you need more time, you can contact the court. I was going to give you the same advice. If you keep driving, please don't do it here. They can arm wrestle with you in Kalamazoo County all they want, but you're free to go on about your business, Mr. Morrow Bay. Do you have any questions?
I do. Just I think just one. Now I know I was arrested a few times. I know one of the times I had to pay if I'm not mistaken, my girlfriend had to pay $500 for to buy me out. I believe that was the first time.
Well, let me see. Perhaps there is a cash bond in one of these. I looked earlier, but 22073 may have a cash bond in it. Let me look at that. It's good to have friends. Let's see what we got here. I'd be very happy if I had a $500 cash bond to apply to this. I do. There's a $500 cash bond in that case. So I'll apply $200 a bond in 2073. It was 0. $200 a bond in 2653. It was 0. And $100 a bond in 213 ST, and you're 100 in that. So that reduces your 880 to 380. I used the bond to pay off 2. Let me make sure there's not a bond in another one of these. That is 2073. You spent 2 days in jail on that one, 2 days credit 2. I looked for those bonds and all I saw was a surety bond. Let me make sure I don't have any more bond money in here. No, they're all sureties. So I've used the $500 of your bond to pay 2 of the misdemeanors off and apply $100 to the other misdemeanor. That leaves the 2 speeding tickets of $140 and $100 in the other case. Mr. Morrow Bay, that resolves all of your cases here in St. Joe County. It would make me happy, it would probably make you happy if you didn't come back here in 2022. I wish you the best. These matters are all resolved. I'm not ordering any additional jail time. You owe $100 plus 2 speeding tickets of $140 each. We'll send you that information to your address on West Niche in Kalamazoo. All right, sir.
Thank you.
You're free to go.
I appreciate it.
Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And so ends the ballot of Samuel Perdue, a.k.a. Samia Siraj Morrow Bay. There's no question this was a very good deal he received from Prosecutor Deborah Davis, and Judge Middleton definitely helped him out quite a bit in the end. It's a far cry from how cocky and confident he was at the beginning of the year. Whether he actually learned anything from this, only time will tell. So what do you guys think? Were they too lenient, or was this a genuine wake-up call for him? I'll be honest, I'm skeptical, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. And let's end with that gold and silver clip. Do you want me to pay with, quote-unquote, Federal Reserve notes? That would be sufficient. You can also pay by credit card, certified check, or money order. But according to the Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, only gold and silver are money. Well, you can pay with gold or silver too. I had a guy once on a dog complaint who paid that way. But I'm sure when you go to the grocery store or the gas station, you don't pay with gold or silver.